Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to our first TEP Town Hall. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, Izzy, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks so much for joining tonight as well as we sort of kick off the new live stream season with our very first TEP Town Hall. So, how's your summer been? What you been up to?
Yeah, it's been really good, thank you. So I started my fifth year back in May, so I've been on rotations all summer, which has been really good so far. And I've got to do some wildlife work with like Twycross Zoo and things, which has been really amazing. But I feel really jealous. Um, like because everybody's been going to South Africa and stuff, and I would have loved to have joined them on the wildlife vet experience and stuff because it just looks amazing. So really jealous of everyone who went out on that, but yeah, it's been a good time otherwise, and I've enjoyed starting fifth year. Just one more year until it's all over now. So
Okay,
yeah.
how does that feel? Fifth year, does that feel a bit scary, a bit daunting, or are you feeling good?
No, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Yeah, it's exciting. I feel like once you get like 4 and a bit years in, you're like, yeah, I feel like I've spent a lot of time here now. I'm ready to finish university and go out into the real world and things. So yeah, it's super exciting to be able to put everything that I've learned so far into practice and stuff. So yeah.
So, for those of you that don't know, Izzy is one of our long-standing TEP ambassadors, and she helps with a lot of stuff in the background while she's at uni at veterinary school. Yeah, she along with some of the other TEP ambassadors will be sort of rotating to join us on these TEP town halls. So yeah, let's introduce these TEP town halls. First of all, just tell you a little bit about why we're doing this, what it's all about, what's going to be involved in these, how you can get involved within these TEP tunnels, but also more generally with the expedition project. So TEP tunnels has been it's quite a long time coming. It's been something we've been wanting to do for a while, and just because of time constraints and busyness and stuff like that, I haven't managed. But the whole concept is really trying to get the community together to share what is going on with the expedition project, but more importantly, what's going on with all the expedition project partners and projects, and some of the trips that are going on, some of the online courses we've got, the membership options you've got, some of the events we've got coming up, and stuff like that. So Izzy and I will be sort of discussing that this evening. At any point while you're listening to us chat about this and share these details, if you've got any questions or comments, as per usual, if you haven't joined in a TEP live stream before, you can post your comments on the Expedition Project website if that's where you're watching it from. If you're watching it on social media like Facebook or YouTube, you can also post your comments there and they'll come through to us and we'll answer them as best as we can as we go. If you're watching on replay, equally, you can post your comments and questions anytime you want and we'll get back to you as much as possible. But so these town halls are really going to depend on you, depend on everyone watching and what you think as to how long or short they're going to be, what we're going to talk about. So it really is depending on what you want us to go into more detail about, and obviously would love to do that. Obviously, the joy of being involved in the expedition project is meeting and discussing and spending time with some of these inspiring projects and conservation community organizations in and around South Africa. So, I love speaking about them. I know Izzy's very passionate about it as well, and she's going to go into a bit more detail a bit later about some of the projects she's been working on the side. But yeah, so it all depends on you. So if there's a particular project that you like the looks of on the Expedition Project website, let us know. And we can always go into more detail, give more updates, and so on and so on. So the first part will be a general kind of update, a few sort of important project updates, things that are happening, some things that have happened recently over the last month or so, and look ahead to the coming month. And then the second half will focus on something particular about the expedition project. And for tonight, that'll be all about memberships and the different membership options you've got and the different ways that you can get involved and why we've designed the things the way we are. So throughout that, at any point, if you've got any questions, just give us a shout and we can try and answer them as best as possible. Because these are scheduled to be the last Tuesday of each month, that's why we're going to sort of take a look back and then take a look forward. It's sort of perfectly placed so that we can look back at what's happened over the last month and then look forward to the next month. So to kick us off, I just wanted to show you a little bit about what we got coming up from September. So really excited to sort of revamp our live stream lineup. And once again, it's been something that, we've been wanting to do for a while, but it's taken on board a lot of your feedback and a lot of the bits and pieces that you sent through to us. So this is going to take the shape of working with primarily these organizations that you can see on the screen now, as to who we're going to be working with, what we're going to be doing with them. But that is still open to some other organizations, obviously, that we were looking to work with in the future. So all sorts of fun kind of live streams and events coming up. So how that's going to look is on the first Tuesday of each month at the same time as you're watching this now, which is 5 p.m. UCT, 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. South Africa time, depending on what time of the year it is. So the first Tuesday of the month will be our main focus live stream. And this is all going to be about wildlife, nature conservation, mainly those kind of topics. And a big part of this is going to be our Wildlife Vet Online stuff with Dr. Peter Rogers, as well as sort of some other collaborators as well that are going to join in on those. The middle Tuesdays of the month are going to be all about showing you some replays, some pre-recorded sort of webinars, events, and live streams that we've got. So it might have been stuff that have been sort of recorded recently or further back, and we sort of give you a chance to catch up on some of those. And then the last Tuesday of the month, just like we are right now, is going to be all about the TEP Town Halls and all about sort of having a look back at what's been happening and hopefully getting some of your feedback and questions and stuff like that. So pretty action-packed, Izzy. I don't know. I don't know what you think about some of these changes and some of the stuff we were hoping to try and achieve over the month. Hopefully, I haven't given myself too much work to do, but quite excited about it.
Yeah, super excited. It's super exciting to be like kicking off another year with TEP with a bang, obviously, like starting these town halls and introducing everybody to them and hoping to get to know everybody a bit more. And we've got so many exciting things coming up. So I'm just super excited to kind of see what comes out over the next few months, and hopefully you're all super excited as well to see what we've been working on and stuff, what Rog mainly has been working on so hard over the summer, whilst the rest of us have been having a break.
Well, it sounds like you've been pretty busy too, but yeah, I definitely haven't had, I suppose, nearly as many holidays as I might like, that's for sure. But one of the things that you can stick around for at the end of these town halls is we've now opened up a new feature called the member chat room, and this allows different members to sort of meet each other from all over the world and find out a little bit more about each other. We'll be in those chat rooms as well, so you can chat to us a bit more on a sort of video call group basis and stuff like that. So stick around at the end of these. You have to go to the Expedition Project website to get access to this, and you also have to have a membership in order to have access to this. They're not open to everyone. So there's a couple of things that you need to do if you don't have a membership. And we'll go into the memberships in the second half. There are some, free membership options as well as paid membership options, which we'll talk about. But yeah, let's dive straight into it. I think the first thing that I sort of wanted to speak about is we've just finished off some 2 amazing trips with the Wildlife Vet Experience, which has been delayed twice now because of COVID. And it's a combination of kind of trips that we've done in the past, and we've teamed up with some amazing sort of organizations, one namely Enza Safari, who's helped us sort of coordinate and design what we think has been a real sort of a new style of vet experience in South Africa. And we've had 2 trips that went out recently, one in July and one in August. And if you haven't seen the live stream already, there was a recent live stream which was aired earlier in this month, which was speaking to some of the team there. So go and check that out on the live stream page, and you can see some of their feedback from that trip. But what I thought I'd do is I'm just going to show you some highlights from the most recent trip, which was the August trip, which had 7 people on that trip. And some of the things they managed to achieve in such a short space of time was amazing. And just to give some of you context who don't know anything about this trip, we wanted it to be really like hands-on and really to a point where you were exhausted at the end of each day. So you really were starting early and finishing into the evening and everything, and getting as much crammed in as possible, and really traveling to a lot of different reserves, meeting different wildlife vets, and getting stuck into all different aspects of what it means to be a wildlife veterinarian in South Africa, which can be varied unless you are specialized in certain things, and it definitely is a lot going on. So let's just have a look at some of these stats which were covered in the most recent trip. So it was a 15-day experience. They covered 3,150 kilometers within that trip. So a lot of driving. And this is very much representative to the amount of hours that vets can spend on the road in any given week, just because, they do drive from reserve to reserve, farm to farm, project to project. So we wanted you to get that real world kind of setup. They work with 12 different species and a total of over 50 different animals over that point, which is absolutely incredible. This stat, the next one down, is absolutely amazing. So because of this trip and because of the students and the participants that went on it, we managed to fund 5 rhino dehornings, which is absolutely incredible. And obviously, for those of you that don't know what Expedition Project is about so much, obviously, the big part of what we do is we're trying to collaborate with different projects, different organizations to help conservation, improve conservation, make conservation more innovative, and so on and so on. So a big part of it is putting the money that these participants pay towards something that's meaningful. And in this case, we managed to fund 5 rhino dehornings, which is amazing. So over the course of those 2 weeks, they visited 11 reserves, 7 different projects on top of the reserves as well, which is incredible. So almost 50 vet hours they managed to do. And to round it off, we actually did a little calculation onto the carbon offset, and this is excluding the flights, unfortunately, but the carbon offset for everything that was included. We did 9 tree plantings at the end of that to try and put a little bit towards that. And I know what you're thinking. Often people sort of think, okay, well, how meaningful is a tree planting? It has to be done right, it has to be done in the right place, it has to be the right kind of tree, and so on and so on. Because there's so many organizations out there that claim to be planting a tree and offsetting your daily sort of lifestyle or whatever like that. But this actually worked with an organization called Nourish Eco Village, and one of their primary focuses is to work with their local community with social innovation projects, social enterprise projects, and they've got a garden area that they're growing a whole sort of, like, I suppose what you could call like a mini forest, I suppose is probably the one way to do it. And we planted moringa trees, which are very good at sort of the carbon capture side of things. So so we managed to do that the right way rather than, I suppose, some of the artificial ways that have done. So let's just go back to the stats to finish it off. So 9 tree plantings. Now, this is incredible as well. Now, this was kind of like something that just happened, I suppose, because one of our team members on the trip was a fanatic birder, and he joined on the team to help out with the group. And he managed to do 58 bird sightings over that. Now, if there's any birders out there, having a look at that list, and if you want to rewatch this later on after we're done and pause it and have a good read of some of these names, you'll see we got birds of prey, we got all sorts of things in there. An absolutely phenomenal list that Dan the man managed to pull together from this trip. So absolutely amazing. So I suppose the lead on from that is check out, we've got a live stream with that particular group coming up the middle of September, one of the middle of September live stream slots. So make sure you tune in for that. Go to the live stream page and watch how these participants got on. They'll talk a bit about their trip and just share some of the stories from what was, as you can see by the stats, absolutely incredible. I don't know, Izzy, I don't know what you think, but I mean, even Aidan and I, who are sort of running the trip, we were even blown away by what we managed to achieve in those 2 weeks.
Yeah, it sounded absolutely incredible. Yeah, I had a few comments on the things that you were just talking about just then. I was going to say, like, driving across South Africa, like, there's no better way to see a country as well. Like, obviously you want to replicate the experience of the wildlife vets, like, in all of their driving, but traveling through, like, all of those like amazing cities and through the kind of wilderness and things, and seeing, you know, the nature of that country. Like there's no better way to get to know a country than doing that. And so it's just an amazing opportunity to see things that you wouldn't have seen if you'd like flown somewhere and things. And then I guess obviously, like you were saying, like flying has such a massive like impact environmentally, and I know like driving isn't perfect, but you know, it's just like offsetting some of those kind of negative environmental factors as well. So driving that distance, as well as, yeah, you say serving a purpose and you've actually thought about it, it's just an incredible thing to do as well. And before we knew about the expedition project ages ago, my family drove through South Africa, and it was just absolutely beautiful. And I just remember just loving every moment of it. So I'm sure these guys had an amazing experience driving through South Africa as well. So yeah, that was the first thing that I wanted to touch on. But yeah, like as well, I like the reason that I support the expedition project is because I just love the message of the expedition project. So obviously there are lots of companies running out of South Africa, but like you can guarantee that the expedition project is running like an ethical service, I guess maybe you'd call it. And that's one of the things that I like really value about it. And just some of the things that you're talking about, so like the funding the conservation and helping the rhino dehorning, like it's not profit making going on the wildlife vet experience. It's genuinely to like feed back into conservation and to help all of these like wonderful projects. And I'm just so proud to like be an ambassador of an organization that kind of helps fund all of these like amazing things, and also helps like get some like, I don't know, some like put the people out there who are kind of running these projects and stuff. I was having a bit of a brain freeze then about what word I was looking for. But yeah, and obviously just the opportunity to get involved with like so many different projects as well, like you kind of touched on it, like the amazing thing with the wildlife vet experience as well is like there are just so many facets of being a vet and then being a wildlife vet as well, and you don't really think about that. Like there's the husbandry side, the community conservation and things, the wildlife conservation, and like the clinical practice as well. And like it's such a good opportunity to like pull those all together into one scheme. And it seems like a really kind of cohesive way to do that on the wildlife vet experience. You've kind of like pulled in segments from all of that and kind of balanced it really well, because these are all things that are really important for a wildlife vet. And like I said about being at Twycross Zoo, like even in the UK as a zoo vet, there are so many different facets other than just your clinical practice that you have to balance and think about. And I think people frequently kind of skip that out because they just want like an incredible vet experience. And then the final thing was the accommodation looked like absolutely gorgeous, and I'm really jealous of everybody getting to stay there. So those are kind of my thoughts from the Wildlife Vet Online, from kind of following along on Instagram and following along on the Facebook page, which like everybody should go back and have a look at all of the things that people got up to whilst they were there. So yeah, it sounds incredible and looks incredible. I'm so impressed with everything, like you said, that you managed to achieve. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's funny you bring up some of those things, because when we were sort of thinking about the project, there were certain things we were thinking, oh, should we add this in? And then certain things, okay, we definitely have to, you know, keep this as part of the project. Now, this is just obviously one trip that's obviously vet related. There are others which I'm actually going to go into next. But one of the interesting things that you raised is like around the accommodation side of things. You know, we wanted these participants to be immersed in nature and wildlife, you know, 24/7. So rather than just having accommodation in a dorm style or kind of like a house in the middle of one of the towns or something like that, and probably being closer to what you've got to work on during the day, we actually placed the students in the first week was in a lodge, you know, within a reserve, and the second week in a tented camp in a big 5-game reserve as well. So, you know, you were going to bed and waking up with wildlife all around you, and they were having sightings, from their tents of like, elephants and stuff like that, walking past in front of them and stuff like that. And we really wanted to immerse everyone in that experience. Now that part might not be realistic for a wildlife vet and where you're going to live and stuff, but we wanted to combine all these things together. So, it still felt like, okay, well, I'm not just having this experience and having a worthwhile placement that's going to be helpful for, what I'm trying to achieve in my career, but I'm having a little bit of a holiday in my off hours as well, in the evening.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, for some people, like maybe they will go back to South Africa and become a wildlife vet and obviously have to live in the sticks or whatever. But for a lot of people, like it is just an experience as well. Like it's kind of one of those things that you're like, obviously you can't only do it as a student, but it's kind of those once in a lifetime opportunities to just go out in South Africa and become immersed, and you just want that amazing kind of like holiday feel on top of like the experience as well. So it's just so lovely that you've kind of got the feeling of being on holiday whilst, getting this incredible experience. So yeah, I completely agree that that's an amazing way to kind of stay, and it looked very luxurious.
So, I mean, reach out to any of the participants. They've done some reviews on the TEP website if you've got any questions with them, or reach out to, we started interviews this week for 2023, that trip. So really excited about meeting some potential participants there. So yeah, do get involved in that, because no doubt places will fill up quite quick for that. We're also already planning 2024. We've got some trips planned for January through to March in 2024. So really excited about that. But yeah, enough about the wildlife vet stuff. I think let's move on to our next project. So we've got a bit of a project update up next. So the Zululand Rhino Orphanage is definitely one of my favorites, and it's just such an amazing organization run by such passionate people, and you can't help but be inspired and just have your heart warmed when you follow some of their updates and stuff like that. So they've had a bit of a tough time, and one of the rhinos they've nicknamed Lucky Girl had a bit of a tough start, and this sort of quote came through from Simone, who's the project manager at the orphanage. She's such an incredibly passionate, amazing person, and basically Lucky Girl, it wasn't looking good, and they weren't sure that she was going to pull through. But the good news is, and the nice update that we can share, is that she's doing well. She's drinking the amount of milk that she needs to, really just rehabilitate and grow and stuff like that. She's starting to mix nicely with the other rhinos in the orphanage, and it's just such an amazing story, and we're just so happy to share that. And yeah, just such incredible work. Now, the sort of collaboration we have with them is a couple of things. We do a very selective experience where volunteers can go out and spend a couple of weeks with the orphanage, and they only take two students at a time. It's not tourism based. It's not, obviously not unethical and everything like that. They're very particular about the kind of people that will come out and spend time with the rhinos. So all the students are sort of interviewed, and they're checked to be the right kind of, students or volunteers to join in. So do get in touch if you are interested. Obviously, as I said, they only take a couple at a time, so they don't handle big groups. And yeah, it's an amazing experience. And we've had some, recent trips go out now, and one particular was Maddie and Mia went out at the beginning of this year. And Maddie was so taken aback by everything and the story of the orphanage, the team there and everything, that she actually decided to set up a fundraiser where she was going to jump out of a plane and be completely mad and go skydiving and try and raise some money for the orphanage, which she did towards the beginning of August, which is amazing. And yeah, we wanted to share some of what she got up to. By showing you a little bit of a video about her trip. So have a look at this.
Hello, Maddie.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
Awesome. So we're here at Skydive Langer and we're going to do a tandem skydive. Tell us what we're doing the skydive for.
So we're raising money for Zululand Conservation Trust, which is a charity based in South Africa.
Amazing. And how much we raised so far?
£710.
Awesome. So we're doing it for such a good cause. Something close to your heart, I guess, yeah?
Yeah, very.
Awesome. How are you feeling? Nervous, excited?
Trying to tell myself excited.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, shall we go and find a plane to jump out of?
Yeah.
Cool, let's go do it. Hey!
So tell the cameras what you thought. It was amazing. It was so much better than I thought it was going to be. What was the best bit? The fall, when you first come out of the plane, it was incredible.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, so that was your favourite part?
Yeah.
Tell me, would you do it again?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah? And you're going to get your friends to do it as well?
Yeah, try and convince them.
Awesome. Have you got a message for any friends, family or supporters?
Yeah, I'd just like to say a massive thank you to the Expedition Project who helped me organise it and supported me through my crazy decisions.
Amazing.
Thank you to
guys.
everyone that donated.
Awesome. And thank you for a great job you're doing and a great skydive. Katie, thank you too. Have a great day.
So I bungee jumped, but I never skydived at all. I don't know about you, Izzy. What do you think about that?
Yeah, as I was watching that video, I was thinking, as much as I love the rhinos and all of the team at Zululand, I would never jump out of a plane. Like, I could just never do it. I'd rather do any other form of fundraising than jump out of the plane. She's just crazy. I don't think I'd bungee jump either, I'm not going to lie, but...
She did so well, and the fundraising campaign is still going. She's raised £790 so far, and that's already gone across to Zululand Rhino Orphanage, which makes a massive difference. Obviously, because of some of the stories we told you just before that video, and the expense of running and rehabilitating and then eventually releasing these rhinos. So it's so important. But the fundraising is still going on. So if anyone would like to donate and got some spare cash in the tough times we're living in at the moment, then yeah, please head over to the Expedition Project fundraisers page and yeah, just share your love if you can. But definitely well done, Maddie. Such a good job. Now she went out as part of a Zululand endangered species experience, and this was all about sort of meeting the rhinos, but also meeting pangolins as well, which is the most trafficked mammal at the moment in the world, and a lot of people don't realize that. Absolutely, amazing opportunity to not only meet rhinos and of course hippos, who we always forget, Actually, there's a couple of resident hippos as well. I suppose another stat, they're the second most dangerous land mammal in South Africa, second only to mosquito, actually. Well, human beings are probably the most dangerous if we want to go to that point, but hippos are actually the second most dangerous. So really nice to come into contact with rhinos, hippos, and pangolins. Absolutely incredible on this experience. So if you didn't catch it, there was also a live stream earlier this month where Ruby and Emily shared some of their experiences. Maddie and Mia shared their experiences earlier in the year, but recently Ruby and Emily shared their experiences. So head to the live stream page and you can watch them chat about their experience. And then just recently recorded, and it's going to be aired in actually a week's time. 2 weeks' time, the middle of September. We've got Grace and Lucy speaking about their experience, so all about their time over there. So do tune into that. Sure. So we're racing through things, Izzy. I think we've got one more little section to go, which is all about the some course updates and some from that side of things, and then we can start to touch on the memberships and some of the membership options we've got for everyone. I don't know if you've got any other thoughts before we head into the courses.
No, I was just going to say that it's so great seeing people obviously going out to South Africa and things. It's great to start seeing people going to the projects and things and being able to get, the first-hand experience that we want them to get. And hear some feedback from it. So it's so great that everybody's loving going on all of their trips. And it's just super exciting to get in some fundraising as well for the organizations and things. So that's all I had to say.
Well, one of the things that means a lot to me, and one of the reasons I always advocate, people trying to organize these kind of trips through the expedition project, is over the last 10 years, and it was the 10-year anniversary this year actually when I managed to start the expedition project. One of the pluses of all the driving around up, down, and all the road trips and all the networking is I managed to accumulate such a vast network of not just projects, but accommodation and restaurants and stuff like that. And for example, Grace and Lucy went out recently, and they got caught in what I think a lot of people got caught in over the summer and just before the summer, getting stuck on BA flights that were sort of cancelled or postponed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they would have got stranded and had to change their trip and resort everything out and everything. And what we managed to do, I just reached out to one of the contacts we've got in Durban. So when they landed there a day early because of them having to change their flight because of BA, that accommodation establishment put them up for the night. All obviously included under the umbrella of the expedition project. So that's the nice thing of what I've tried so hard to build over the years is this network of collaborators that are really just trying to help everyone out. If they've got space, if they've got availability, come stay for the night, and stuff like that. Hear about, what they're up to, and then, Grace and Lucy could move on their way and stuff like that. So, I don't think you're going to get that with many organizations, that kind of collaboration, that kind of just everyone trying to help each other out and work together, especially in this day and age. So just thought I'd mention that it really does help, and it's something that's a nice benefit for TEP members and people doing experiences like that.
Yeah, definitely. That was amazing that they managed to make it and not get stranded anywhere. I'm sure, like you said, many other people did. And it'll be super exciting to hopefully see people kind of trying out different projects, but also obviously going to the ones that other people have been to and said were really great. It's great that everybody's going there, but it's really exciting. Hopefully more people will branch out, and we'll see a range of experiences happening over the next few years.
So just quickly mention again before we move on to the courses side of things, the online course. So you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to type it in the comments and reply section area from wherever you're watching this. If it's on the Expedition Project website, if it's on YouTube or Facebook, pop your questions, your comments, just any thoughts, just say, hey, just where you're watching this from. Anything like that is really good to know who's out there. But moving on, so obviously a popular element of the expedition project, especially since COVID kicked off a couple of years ago, has been the online aspect, and one really popular area has been Wildlife Vet Online. We're going to be resuming the Wildlife Ed Online Live, which is gives us a chance to catch up with Dr. Peter Rogers, the infamous, or not infamous, the famous Dr. Peter Rogers, who's really, just such a force in the industry, and really so lucky to be connected and collaborating with him. And what we got coming up next week Tuesday at this time, is our 21st episode of Wildlife Vet Online Live, and a very special one. It's going to be our second live event, and it's going to be elephant translocation, which is super exciting. The last one, if any of you did tune in, was a live lion surgery, which was our most popular live stream last year. So if you caught the live awards we had in June, then you would have seen it was the most popular live stream. And this one, no doubt, is going to be super popular, because who doesn't love an elephant? Absolutely amazing. And if you can just figure out how do you transport an animal that weighs sometimes up to 7 tons, and how can you effectively do that and organize that and pull that off successfully and without putting any danger or harm to that elephant. So tune in next week, this time next week, for Elephant Translocation live stream, where Dr. Peter Rogers will be breaking down that feat, that amazing sort of event. So just a reminder, as we mentioned, about the live streams coming up. So next week we've got Wildlife Ed Online Live episode 21. We've then got a replay, as I mentioned, the Zululand Rhino Experience episode 3. So we're going to be talking with Grace and Lucy. And then Wildlife Vet Experience, talking with the second group that went out this year in August. We're going to be joining them and discussing them. And then we're back to the TEP Town Hall at the end of the month. So that's the end of part 1. I think now we're sort of looking. Actually, no, I've got some other things I just want to share just before we get onto the membership side of things. With regards to courses, I almost forgot. Actually, very, very important. So we've got 2 really exciting trailers that I want to show you, that are all parts of conservation, coastal conservation online. That we're launching in September, which is going to be working with the Two Oceans Aquarium Education Foundation, and some really exciting stuff which deals with seals, which deals with turtles, which deals with even jellyfish, which deals with sharks, and also as an offshoot for that, we've got some really, really interesting and fun conservation kids additions from the Two Oceans Aquarium. So if you've got kids under the age of 10, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, sons, daughters, whatever, and you want to get them interested in conservation, or they're really interested in conservation, look out for these, because they're amazing. They're really, really interesting, and it breaks down some really amazing topics which we all love into something that is really interesting for kids. And this takes the shape of sort of exercise things that they can do. It's rhymes, it's sort of paper mache stuff, it's crafts, it's going to little details about some facts about these amazing animals. It's really, really super, super fun. So yeah, look out for that. But first, I just wanted to show you our trailer, 2 trailers. The first trailer is for our turtle module that's coming out in conjunction with Two Oceans. So let's have a look at this. So I'm so excited we managed to get this turtle module out. It's been one of the most requested sort of species for the last couple of years, turtles, and it's been a long time coming. So really excited about that. What do you think, Izzy? Are you a turtle fan?
Yeah, I'm definitely a massive marine life kind of fan, so I'm super excited to see what comes out of that course. And yeah, obviously it's always fun, like getting one of those new species. Like yeah, it's always super exciting to be like, oh yay, like we'll learn about something else. So I'm super excited to see what they've come out with, and obviously working with a new organization as well is super exciting. So I'm just really excited to see what they've done and stuff.
Yeah, so it's one of the ways we do it. We're going to go into it in a minute about the membership side of things. Is that we slowly release these new modules as they come out, and obviously there's priority members that'll get first dibs on them and a first chance to participate on them, and that all depends on your membership level. So obviously this starts up with certain memberships that goes down right down to the free membership who will eventually get it before it's then opened up to everyone. So there is benefits depending on the memberships that you've got with regards to when you can have access to certain things, but also obviously the discounts. And the higher your membership cost, obviously the higher your discount will be. So if you really do want to get involved in some of these amazing courses and opportunities, it becomes much more value for money to actually get involved with the higher sort of membership categories, because you will get you'll make up your money very, very fast. But anyway, I'll get to that in a minute. So the next thing I just wanted to show you was the shark trailer, which is another one of the modules coming out soon. And there's a whole lot of other modules. These are just two I picked because I know these are two very popular ones. So let's check out the shark trailer. Here we go. So head over to our courses page, check that out. They're going to be released soon. It's just going through final little touch-ups at the moment, and then we'll be able to release that to you guys. So really looking forward to that, and super excited about the new partnership with Two Oceans Aquarium Education Foundation. Yeah, so really cool. So Izzy, it's taken almost 45 minutes just to go through those bits before we actually get to what's supposed to be the focus of tonight, which is memberships. But I mean, there's just so much to share, and this is why these kind of talks can go on for so long. So we're really going to need your help. If you're watching this live or if you're watching this on replay, please let us know what you want to hear more of or less of, and then we'll know moving forward, because these are ideally supposed to be designed by you. And we really need your help to sort of say like what you think and what we should focus on. But the next section is all about memberships. So this is designed to give you quite a comprehensive overview of the different memberships that are available, because I think one of the main questions we get is what membership should I go for? And hopefully I'm going to break this down now and make it as clear as possible. But during my little overview now, if you've got any kind of questions or thoughts or anything that doesn't make sense, please let me know. And hopefully I'll make sense as I go through it. So yeah, let's get started with a little bit of a membership overview. Here we go. So TEP memberships. Now, this is one of the first things you've got to do if you want to get involved in all the opportunities that the Expedition Project has to offer. So what you need to do is head over to the membership section, and you can choose yourself a membership that suits you. Now, there's quite a lot of membership options, more than is normally available with sort of membership accounts on different websites. And the reason for this is we've got so many different categories that are relevant to different types of people and can give you sort of specific content, specific opportunities, and so on and so on. So we can start from the very basic sort of free membership, where if you're not sure how much you're going to participate in, and you just want to have the option to have access to certain online courses, various opportunities, get some support when need by, then free option is always a good sort of first starting point to go to. Other than that, you can choose the options that are relevant for you. So if you want to get as much courses and options and opportunities as possible, then we've got the All Access Pass membership options there. We've got options for kids. We've got society memberships, which are specifically for some of our collaborating societies. So you can see if you're one of those, if you're involved in one of those collaborating societies. We've got South African memberships specifically for South African residents and South African partners like projects and some of our restaurant and accommodation partners. We've got membership specifically for students and people that are at university, and then the volunteer membership, which is very much the same as the free membership, and it's mainly if you want to get involved in some either virtual volunteering or in-person volunteering. So let's go into some of these and sort of break them down, starting with the free memberships. Now, within the free membership section, there are this draws in a lot of the membership plans from some of those other sections we touched on, because some of those other membership plans are in fact free. So what you want to do, if you are looking for a free membership and you want to see if you fall into that category, then you can start there and have a look and see if you fall into any of these categories. So let's have a look at some of these categories. Alumni membership is specifically for students that have finished university, that maybe were a part of one of the society memberships that we had, that we collaborate with, and that might be an option for you. So this is specifically one that you'll have to reach out and get in touch with us so we can activate that manually for you. If you're a South African resident, then you can go straight into the South African membership and fill in your details there, and immediately you can get activated to a South African membership. Equally so for an accommodation partner, project partner, and restaurant partner, you can get in touch with us by registering and we can activate your account. And then the volunteer membership is our free membership, which is very popular, and this allows you sort of minimal discounts and not access to everything, but it's a good starting point, as I mentioned. So it's a good place to start if you just want to sort of test things out. And you can always upgrade after that and change your membership plan. And then within the free membership section, we also got all of our societies and some of our partnering projects listed there. So you can see if you are listed under one of those. And if you are, all you need to do is fill in your details and we can activate and approve your account. Okay, so if we go back and just go into some of the other membership plans, alumni membership I mentioned is specifically for people who have already had a membership and are now moving past graduating university and want to continue their account. So you can get in touch for details around that. Let's have a look at some of the kids memberships. So this is particularly for students that are still in school, so under 16s. And there's a couple of additional options as well, depending on some of the collaborations we've got. So if you fall into one of those categories, then you can register via filling in your details. Otherwise, if you're under 16 and you want to get sort of maximize your sort of options as an under 16 learner, then you can sign up for that membership there. There's a very small minimal fee for that, and you'll get various amounts of discounts for that. Okay, let's have a look at the next option. So next option on the list is a society membership. So these are also incredibly popular. So these are specifically for all our collaborating societies. And these are university societies and other societies all around the world. Now, if you are at university right now, our starting point is to go and check if one of your societies is represented as a collaborating society on here. If it is, then all you need to do is sign up by selecting some of the options that we're asking for there, and we can activate that society membership for you. Now, because of this collaboration, this is a free membership, so you don't have to pay anything. So it's basically a free membership, just like those other ones that I showed you as well, except you're now getting a lot more access because this is a collaborating membership plan. So it's fantastic if you are part of these societies. If you don't see one of your a society that you're a part of on this list, then all you need to do is get in touch with us, and maybe we can set one up for your society, and we can speak about partnership and collaboration options. So have a look at that first and see if you are represented there, and then you can take it from there. Next up, South African membership. So I touched on this before. So this is great if you are based in South Africa, if you're a South African resident, or if you are if you run a tourism business or an NPO charity or some sort of project in South Africa. Now, we've got a load of accommodation restaurant listings on the Expedition Project website. All those partners automatically get a specific account where they can get access to various bits and pieces on the website. If you're not listed on the Expedition Project website and you'd like to, you can get in touch and we can talk about what that entails. And similarly with some of our project partners, they get specific access, which is wonderful. So we can really have this as a collaborative platform. Now, if you're simply just a South African resident and you want to get access to local rates and heavily discounted content, then the South African membership is for you. Fill in your details there. You'll be activated with the South African membership plan, and your rates and your fees and your course costs and everything will be so much lower. So it's definitely worth going for. Okay, let's have a look what's next on the list. Okay, then student memberships. This is just an accumulation of all the student memberships that we've got now. And these do sort of encompass the society memberships as well, as I mentioned, because a lot of them obviously are university societies. If you're not a member of any of those societies, but you are a student at university, then you can just get our normal student membership there. So there is a charge for this, where the society memberships there isn't a charge for because they're collaborators. But it still gives you a lot of access, a lot of discount, and very worthwhile. And it may seem like some of these charges and memberships may initially seem like a reasonable amount of money, but the amount that you get back for it is amazing. So you can actually pay off your membership fees in 1 or 2 purchases really easy. So it definitely is worthwhile checking that out. Okay. And finally on the list is the volunteer membership at the bottom, which is basically our free membership plan. So that's why it's only got one thing in there. So as I mentioned, this is a good starting point. If you just want to test things out, get going, you can always upgrade after that. Absolutely no charge for that. But even if you just want to use a few things around the site, do get yourself, even if it's just this membership, because it does give you more access than just a user that doesn't have a membership. Any questions about membership plans, please do get in touch, and we can help you out and definitely give you more advice if you need to. There's also a handy membership price benefits sort of comparison that you can go in there. You can see the breakdown of what all the different memberships offer, and you can sort of get an idea of how they all work, what the charges are and everything over there. And then what's also very handy is there's a membership quiz as well. So if we go back to the main memberships area over here, you can try the membership finder as well. And what that'll do is it'll ask you a few questions and help you find the right membership for you. Absolutely fantastic. So that's everything for memberships. So quite a comprehensive overview, really just covering everything, and obviously gives you a chance to go back and look over that if you're deciding. But one of the best things is just reach out if you are confused about what membership is best for you. That membership quiz, that membership finder quiz thing that I mentioned at the end is really useful, because it'll break down what your needs are in a few sort of questions and direct you exactly where to go. So yeah, as I mentioned, a lot more memberships than you might find in a normal membership type site, where it might just have a basic, a pro, and a super pro kind of sort of membership plan, and that's because we really are trying to customize it depending on different groups and give them as much accessibility and opportunities as possible. So yeah, I don't know, Izzy, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Oh, I don't think so. I think just like you said, like there are so many different memberships that kind of do so many different things. So like Roger says, just find the right one for you and the one that suits you best. And obviously it will give you the most opportunities as possible. For example, like in our conference that we have coming up, there are different discounts for different memberships, such as like South African members. And so, yeah, we're just trying to do the most for each group of people. And yeah, just find the right one for you. And yeah, as Roger said, like always reach out to us if you're confused. and then maybe we can put the video up somewhere. I don't know if that little snippet is somewhere else that isn't on the live stream at the moment, but yeah, it seems like a really useful way to kind of find out about all the memberships. Yeah.
Actually, while you've brought up the conference, it might be a perfect time for you to tell everyone a little bit about that, because that's obviously a big focus coming up in October and something we're sort of working towards now. So yeah, I mean, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about what we've got coming up for that?
Yeah, definitely. So the conference is obviously fast approaching, and I'm really excited to have another year of conferences. Like the one last year went really well, and I'm really proud. So hopefully everybody who came last year is really excited to come and join us again, and obviously raise some money for the organizations. And so once again, like all of the profits are going to go to the organizations that are involved. We've got some familiar faces from last year who I'm really excited to have back, and they're going to give us some new talks on loads more exciting topics. We've got some firm favorites from last year, such as Marine Dynamics / Dyer Island Conservation Trust are coming back, Cape Leopard Trust, Zululand, like we were talking about earlier, and so many more people. Dr. Peter Rogers is going to come back as well. So like so many amazing people. That's just like a kind of overview. And then we've got a few new faces as well, which we're really excited to join and give like a bit of a different angle as well. So hopefully you guys are all as excited for it as us. So it will run in a really similar kind of format to last year. So we're going to have so it's going to all be online again, and we're going to have the sort of 20-minute talks and then the kind of chat rooms afterwards. But we've made some like really key edits. For example, the kind of town hall kind of infrastructure that we're using tonight, we're going to be using for the conference to kind of streamline it a bit more. So we're basically just doing what really worked well last year, but just trying to make a few really important edits. And so, yeah, I'd just love it if you could. We've got a Facebook page. So if you go along, then you can see any updates that we're making, any kind of announcements and things. So if you just click interested, or of course, I would encourage you all to go and buy a ticket on the Expedition Project website right now. Then click going on the Facebook page and hear any updates and things. And yeah, I'm super excited to see you all there again and have and chat with you all again and chat with all of the amazing representatives of the organizations. I don't know if I missed anything there.
That sounds amazing. I think what I would add about the buying tickets is the prices kind of go up each month. Obviously, they're starting with the super early bird sales, the early bird, and then the normal prices, and right up towards the event in October. But what you should realize is with the memberships, you get massive discounts on that ticket price as well. So the face value kind of price at the moment, I think, is £24.99. So that might look like quite a lot right now, but what that means is if you've got a membership, basically any of the memberships, you get a big discount. But if you've got any of the students or society memberships, you actually get 60% discounts off that. So it really keeps the ticket price super reasonable. Now, if this were a conference that were to be a conference that you'd go to in person and you'd go to an actual venue and stuff like this, this would be hundreds of pounds really for the amount of speakers that we've got. So obviously we can't charge that because it is an online event, but still the amount of value and the amount of expertise and experience and everything is just phenomenal. It's interesting because when I started doing the initial posts for this with Izzy, we were sort of saying, we don't need to say it's going to be bigger and better because we were so proud of the last event. We didn't really need to make it any bigger and better. We just wanted to sort of do a similar kind of thing and just redo it. But how it's turned out is we've not only got all these speakers that we had last year, but we've now got this amazing addition of this wildlife panel, which we've got to finish off the event, which has got some of the sort of leaders in the industry on top of the main speakers, and some of these leaders are, organizations like Cape Nature and Sand Parks and reserves in and around Kruger National Park, and Sambro, based out of KwaZulu-Natal and Durban area. We've got Two Oceans Aquarium, which we touched on already tonight. So not just the speakers who are going to be doing those sort of 20-minute TED Talk style that Izzy mentioned, but at the end, the panel at the end is just phenomenal. It really is incredible. And yeah, just super, super proud of it. And yeah, looking forward to getting stuck in with that in just over a month's time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like we were saying, I forgot about all of those like amazing edits that we've made. Yeah, we just wanted to kind of make it as exciting as possible for everyone. And yeah, like Roger says, do go and check it out on the actual Expedition Project website as well, because you never know, like you might have a discount for your membership type or anything, and there's just loads of information about the projects there. And as always, like I'm always really happy to like answer questions. So you can either drop me a message on Facebook. I'm sure I'm quite easy to find if you go down the Expedition Project page. Like I'm sure I've liked a few things on there, or if you go to the conference page on Facebook, then I do all the posts in there and bug you all the time. So you can drop me a Facebook message or send me an email. My email is on some of those posts as well. And obviously you can contact Rog as well. He's always open to us answering questions as well. So just, yeah, get involved or come to these TEP Town Halls and ask us questions.
Exactly.
This is what it's for. So yeah, drop in, and I'm always happy to answer as many questions as possible.
So on that note, Izzy, that's been an hour, and it feels like we could still, keep going for another hour, but we probably should, even though we could, because there's just so much to cover. But, if you're watching this on replay, please help us out and let us know what segments or what little bits you want more of next time or less of, and help us design these for the future. It's really important. It's meant to be designed for you, not for us. So please, yeah, do let us know. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move over to the member chat room, so you can catch up with Izzy and I sort of off air and meet some of the other members. So if you are around and you got the time to do that, then please do meet us. We're going to head over there in a minute. What we're going to do is play out with the elephant translocation trailer, which is the next live stream. We've got it coming up this time next Tuesday. So you've got to tune in for that. You do have to be a member to tune in for that, or part of a collaborating society. So we'll play out with that, and then that's us all done. So yeah, thanks so much, Izzy, for joining in and sharing some of your updates and everything as well. Obviously, always great catching up with everyone. And yeah, thanks to everyone for tuning in.
Yeah, it's always lovely to chat, and hopefully this has been useful for everybody as a little update. And I'm excited to see more of everybody over the next year. So thank you for everyone who joined. Yeah, and I'm excited for this next year of TEP.
Awesome. We'll see you for the next TEP Town Hall. So in a month's time, the last Tuesday of the month. So this was our very first one. So thank you so much. We'll play out with the elephant translocation trailer, and we'll see you next time. Thanks all. Bye.
Bye.
Good morning from South Africa. So we need to make a decision how we're going to do this.